Man, that, that was an episode. Um, let's do an intro. Actually, before we do the intro, I must say one thing I forgot I didn't get to mention before ending the last episode. We have cats again. Now, for those of you that know my channel, had a cat, Zio, who we found out years ago was actually a male. Um, I just brought him home just a few days ago, and I swear to God, I miss this guy so much. He's like my first baby boy. He's so big though. I feel like I missed the most crucial year of his life. But before I brought him home, Jasmine talked me into getting another kitten actually, and his name is Desmond, and he is the most little shit you'll ever meet. That was worded incorrectly, but he's a little fucking. Um, before we do intro, your health, my guy.
I thought you were actually talking to me there for a second.
Nope.
Okay.
I just took another shot of the Morgan. Anyway, one thing I want to say now. I swear we'll get to an intro. I'll let you tell your story. I aired too much dirty laundry last episode. I admit it. I wasn't trying to throw anyone under a bus. I was just trying to express something relative to what you had brought up. And, yeah. That's all I've got to say about it because I lost my train of thought.
At least when you're using your claws, you don't fucking shove them into my thighs.
In all honesty, I think I love too much. But then again, that if you include Peyton, that's like the only 3 people I have in my life. I'm kidding. Kidding. That's 4 people. Just obviously my daughter's not old enough, so I still kind of don't count. But
Piece of shit. You piece of shit.
But hey guys, welcome to episode 13 of the Nerd Tabloid podcast. I'm Eli, or Assassin 13710.
And I'm Canyon, or your big baby goes pee pee.
No one's seen the series yet, but I hope they get it. And we are
The
Rogue Assassin Rippers. I feel like it strings together a little better when I'm under the influence, I'm not gonna lie. Don't ever let me talk like that again.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Elijah dropped a lot of dirty laundry last episode, and I figured it'd be fair for me to do the same, as well as the fact that I want to get this off my chest. Now, I'm not going to go into the kind of story that Elijah went into because I experienced something relatively different. I didn't have a long distance relationship. My very first relationship I just got out of almost a whole year ago. Almost. It'll probably be maybe next month will be about the time that my very first and longest relationship would have ended. Alright, Zia. So, I'm not going to bring up her name mainly because she doesn't watch this shit, and honestly, if she were to, she'd probably rip my head off for one. But anyway, why I said last episode that even though you are separated, that love will never go away, and if you both try to become friends, that's a good thing. Being friends can also, benefit you and your current relationship if you are in one. But when I say this, her and I are still good friends. Now, she lives in a different city than I do now, so now it gives me the chance to not really have to deal with her on a physical level, and honestly, thank goodness to that, because that would probably destroy me inside if I were to, spend time with her after I got back from basic and tech school.
I'm listening now, I swear. I just put my phone into Do Not Disturb after I just sent Payne another.
Dude, calm down, man.
I had to express something that doesn't need to be on this podcast.
Okay.
Though I know my ass wants to speak of it, I'm not gonna do it. I love you.
Love you too, man.
You'll get to your story in a second. I just want you to know, whatever you people may witness in the future, I'm already fucked up. So episode 4 of whatever series comes out, you're gonna fucking love it. I apologize. Please get you.
Anyway, I was in this relationship with this girl. We only managed to make it about a year and a week, right? Longest relationship I've ever been in. It started off pretty innocent, I'd say, because Elijah was actually a part of the beginnings of it. It was also kind of embarrassing for
Oh
myself.
shit, that's right, I was.
Yeah, dude.
I literally forget about that though, because sometimes I have to remember the fact that I remembered how slutty her friend dressed, and I'm like, and then um no, that I kind of joke about. It was just
No, you want
it's just I don't want to discriminate myself towards something. I'm a bit of an animal when it comes to this, but I swear it's not the woman. It's just the like. Anyway, but yes, I remember that. I think it was one time we got off of work. You wanted to spend time with her, so you had, and because she mainly spent most of the time around, she spent best friends. Um, Mainly because of household. That probably shouldn't have been thrown out there. But then again, I feel that's a bit of an important detail.
it's a very important detail.
Kind of similar to mine, though, but still. But I remember that. Like, we were waiting for them to come outside. You and I were fucking listening to music, and I'm like telling you, there are songs I want to sing at my wedding because I know I can match the tone and key. And I started singing these fucking songs. That was actually kind of a bit of an embarrassing moment. I'm not gonna lie. I do apologize. Yes, I remember that. I was a part of it. Sometimes I forget about that.
You know, Mr. Elijah over here was actually a part of the initial progression into that relationship that ended up causing us to split up for a minute, Elijah and I, because I ended up committing myself to that relationship because one, it was my first relationship. I wanted to be able to keep it as long as I physically could. First time I ever actually got my first kiss, first time I had intercourse, all the firsts for me. I was
I only
popping a lot
remember
of
the
cherries
first-
with that woman.
No, no. I only remember the first kiss. I don't know why I snapped with you, but I think I was trying to get your attention. I remember the first kiss. Yes, I was there. I was present. It was actually kind of awkward for me because her and her friend actually had to start a conversation about how big of a pussy you are.
Yeah, but it was my first kiss. I
I-
didn't know how to feel.
But I understand that. But what also made it more embarrassing for me though is not the fact that I had to talk to a strange teenager. Like where?
Leg wears.
It wasn't that made me awkward. It was the fact that if I remember correctly, I don't know. I feel the need to touch you for some reason, and I think it's because I'm under the influence.
Oh, thanks.
That made my thumb feel weird. I caught my thumbnail on that fabric, and it felt weird. Anyway, I swear to God, you guys were across the street, and I could see through the car's fucking window that you were having a hard time trying to kiss her.
I was.
That's what made me feel awkward. I'm like, dude, fucking just do it.
No, it got to the point where literally she had to kiss me because I couldn't get myself to do it. Even though in my brain everything would have gone completely differently if I could have, followed my brain. But that
Didn't I give you shit for that? Because you
yeah, you gave me so much shit for that.
oh my God, I did, yeah. Because her friend was the one that said something because I didn't want to say something.
No, she literally
I
was
already
like,
felt
"Kiss
awkward.
her already."
Yeah, no, literally. Didn't she say, kiss her already, you pussy?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I remember that. Because, like, I obviously could see you through that car's window, even though you were across the street. I felt awkward enough because I kind of knew what you were going through because I've been through it before. And then her friend just made it worse for you. Yeah, you didn't want to do it because especially that antagonized you. And you felt awkward enough as it was, so she went ahead and made the first move. You revealed that to me while we were driving, I think, back to my house
Yes.
in your little tiny Lincoln that didn't live too long.
I know it didn't live long. We don't need to bring. Actually, we can, but we don't.
We, for the sake of the story, doesn't need to be brought up, but at some point it does need to be brought up. But yes, I remember you telling me that, and I think I gave you so much shit. I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you, my guy? Her making the first move, do you know how, according to society, incorrect that is?
Very.
And you know how much, as a man, that fucking demeans you?
Yeah, do you know how demeaned I felt in that situation? I felt like an absolute chump, man.
But let's be honest, I think there are a couple of relationships where I refuse to make.
Yeah, like, okay.
Didn't I tell you that though as well? Like, I feel you. I know how it feels to feel that way. That's happened to me a couple times. Actually, no. I think my exact words to you were as followed. You know, you're a fucking pussy. You should have made the first move. I think in every relationship I've been in, I've made the first. But relative to what happened to the conversation in last podcast, I'll be honest. In my relationship with Peyton, even when she came to visit on the Christmases and we actually got to spend time together in person, it wasn't until maybe our second Christmas, around our 2-year mark, because we actually got together around the time of my mother's birthday. It wasn't until then that I actually fucking kissed her. I think it was February when the relationship just fell apart. But then again, that was the only time I made that move. But I think it was because I loved her that much that I didn't want to fuck that up. But still, I think I gave you that much shit. I lied to you about it just to make you feel worse.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I'm sorry. I had to throw that out there just again for the millionth time for a third episode in a row. Isn't the first time I'm under the influence and have to make you feel like shit and repeat myself. But still.
Like, okay, so I'm gonna try and get through this story without him interrupting me again. Like he said,
I promise I will not interrupt after this time again.
We all know that's not gonna happen. But this relationship, it went smoothly for like the first 2 months, right? First 2 months it was going smoothly. It was perfectly fine. Had no problems with it. What?
I'm not trying to interrupt. I just wanted to say though, because again, you brought up us falling apart. Wasn't there maybe 1 or 2 times I did join you to go back to her friend's house with you?
Yeah.
No, now that I remember, I think it was only 1 time, and I think her friend still dressed the same way. Legwear. Anyway.
You know, her friend was. No, you want to know something that's funny? I saw her friend's vagina before I saw hers because
How the fuck?
She was wearing really short shorts and wasn't wearing any panties, and she sat on the couch and lifted her legs up, and when something moves, my eyes have to go look at it. That's just my instinct, right? So I watch her hop on the couch, and then I see her in the corner of my eye as I'm talking to the girl that I was with. I watched her lift her legs up, so my eyes immediately darted to her real quick, and I saw in between her shorts, and I saw vagina. And I was like,
what? Okay. Again, I keep bringing up legwear, but because I'm an animal, I have a thing for like thigh highs, fishnets, tights. It's a really weird thing for me. Again, it has nothing to do with the legs. It's just the legwear. Wasn't her best friend, your girlfriend's at the time, best friend's outfit the go-to short shorts, fishnets?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm going to be bringing up legwear.
Yeah, I know. And again,
I can't blame you. I apologize. But I had to bring up the note though because I keep bringing up legwear. That's actually an important thing because obviously her best friend was kind of a skank. That was her go-to outfit. So now that I think of it.
Oh my god. All right.
This is how much I love you. But anyway, for some reason. Mainly because, though, I get that. Gaming builds a certain level of hand-eye coordination that when no matter what happens around you, you feel the need to.
Yes.
Again, but then in the last podcast, I fucking, again, slandered you for your hand-eye coordination, yet somehow you were able to catch that before you could hit a fucking softball.
Yeah. No, you don't understand what my eyes do when I'm like just standing there at work. I see like a little bit of movement on the corner of my eye when I'm at work. My eyes immediately just dart over there to make
Canyon,
sure.
unfortunately, I do understand. You don't understand that. I understand it. You just don't understand that. I understand it.
No, okay, yeah, I
Okay.
got you.
Yeah. Now I'm
Anyway,
repeating myself. That was my that was my brain trying to make a comedic bit about.
yeah,
I do apologize for interrupting your.
he's
I
probably gonna say
wanted.
this like another 4 times.
Yes. I felt the need to bring. The best friend was the more important part to bring into that, including the fact that you saw her vagina before your girlfriend.
Yeah.
I guess that's real. Continue.
Anyway,
I'm just gonna sit here, drink more Morgan, vape.
but
I
okay,
swear to
so
God, I'm not doing.
God, Elijah.
I just kissed him on the head again. Continue.
All right, this relationship was going pretty well, and then it was at the point where it began to get scary for me personally when it got to the point where she she had a lot of male friends, right? Do I have a problem with a woman having male friends? No, I don't have that problem. But I do have a problem when she hangs out with male friends who want to screw her. That's when I have a problem.
That's fair though. That was that again. I may be interrupting. I don't mean to interrupt. That was one thing that made my long distance relationship with Paige. Obviously, she needed something physical. We were teenagers. She wanted to date a guy on the football. I never got to that. I wanted to tell inferior. Sorry, even though, I mean, on a field, they're not as inferior, but when it comes to the actual P class, they're inferior. Anyway, it was just she wanted to date a jock. I get that because when it comes to long distance relationships, you can't trust. You obviously had the trust. It's just obviously when fucking horny ass men, myself, want the sex, it becomes an issue.
Yes. So to make this shorter, she had multiple male friends who, time and time again, I personally witnessed them complimenting her on her body or bringing up things that alluded to them wanting to smash her vagina to pieces, kind of shit, right? And I'm just sitting
You
there.
should have seen the red flags almost immediately. You should have.
I saw those red flags, but
You
she
should have
was
gotten
also
out immediately.
yes.
Should have.
But that's the thing. I get attached easy from what I've experienced. I get attached so fast. It's not even funny. That's why I was like, okay, I'll try and work this through with her. And that is what ultimately ended up ruining the relationship for me.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm only laughing because I don't want to interrupt. I keep sharply inhaling because I want to say things, but I really want to try my hardest not to. Please continue before I fuck up.
For the fourth time. All right.
I really need to say.
I'm gonna get back into it. This relationship was built around us and how I would spend my time trying to be at her beck and call, right?
Which then pretty much built that rift.
Yes,
Because
it built the rift between Elijah and I because I was trying to get her to. It got to the point where she would always request for me to be around, right? And then there'd be those moments when she would want to go hang out with her friends, right? And I'd be like, yeah, go hang out with your friends. Go spend time with your friends.
Because then I can hang out with my friends.
Yeah, and then I can go hang out with my friends. And then it gets to the point where she's like, oh, why don't you come hang out with us? And it's like, yay!
Yay, exactly what I wanted to fucking.
Exactly what I wanted to do.
So-
I wanted to go hang out with a bunch of stoners who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. All right.
This is why I brought this up into conversation. Because, like, after Jasmine brought up that whole thing, I was really bummed out. I'm like, on your birthday? To not feel like an awkward piece of shit? I wanted to hang out with my best friend. That was you. again, you're supposed to be like the tension break, kind of help me feel comfortable. That I feel that though. That shattered my whole fucking world. We're gonna be at home. I'll be safe. I'll be fine. Oh, we have to be at someone else's house. Fuck. And you brought up the whole like having male friends. Jasmine does have a male friend, and I'm okay with. And that's because he's like us. We're fucking weebs. We and he would never reach a certain level with Jasmine that I have. Bad for him because I've been friends a really long time. But again, I scored. He. That's I can't think of it. Anyway, and it's just even if he were to compliment her, I know it's actually truly coming from a good place and not because he wants.
Yeah, you can tell the difference based on the
Exactly.
demeanor of the person. All of these men that she would consider were her friends, and she would tell me that were not a problem, that I didn't have to worry about them. Now, most of the time when a woman or a man says that,
Stop that.
sorry, let go of my hand, please.
I will let go of your hand when you stop swiping across the table.
But no, most of the time, whenever you hear a man or a woman say that, oh, they're not a problem, usually they are a problem. They're just either trying to avoid an argument with you, or they're too fucking dense to notice.
So, actually, I need to remove myself from the situation right now from podcast so that I can actually let Canyon finish his story because actually, that's how impactful this relationship was. Not just for you and help develop you as a person, it's also going to help segue into something we want to do for this channel. I need to go to the bathroom. I'm probably going to go do something stupid. Please tell the story. At least this way I'm not fucking interrupting you. Again, I must awkwardly kiss Canyon on the head because I love him so much. This guy's my fucking brother. Please continue your story. I apologize for. Please continue to tell everybody how impactful this relationship was and how much this caused a rift between the two of us and our. I'd love to see how that goes.
All right, well, okay, so let me get back to this story. I'm gonna try and not make it as long as I physically could, because I mean, I could just go on and on and on for hours and explain every single little detail that went wrong. But this relationship mainly started to fall apart for me personally because she would not adhere to my trust issues when it came to these other men. Did I have a problem with her? No. But I had a problem with the men because me, I'm a guy. I know how men work, especially when they're horny. Because I've been there. I was that age. You know, I knew. But it was the consistent arguments that we would get into saying that I don't trust her, saying that I'm the one that's causing a problem when she was the one, in my eyes, not respecting my boundaries, even though I would attempt to respect hers. Because it got to the point where if I were to talk to a woman, whether the problem was I would talk to a woman, right? And if that woman said I was cute, she didn't even have to comment on my body like the men that she was hanging out with would. A woman just would have to call me cute, and she would absolutely barrel down on my ass and say that I'm an absolute piece of garbage, right? Because I'm letting a woman talk to me like that. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, what am I doing wrong here? How is this okay? Right? But let's get into one thing that absolutely destroyed this relationship for me. And after all of this, months go by, we're doing okay, little arguments here and there about stupid relationship shit, about me not being okay with the guys she hangs out with, yada, yada, yada. She goes and hangs out with her friend that we mentioned earlier. And when she went to go hang out with this guy, with her friend, there's two other guys there. Her friend's boyfriend, and then her friend's boyfriend's friend, right? They're all together, hanging out. I'm at work. And I'm like, okay, this is cool, whatever. I hope you enjoy yourself. I get off work to go hang out with her for that night. And the first thing she tells me was that her, like, that group of people, after the two guys left, they decided that they were going to play this stupid car game where they say a word and you have to touch the roof of the car, and the last person to touch the roof of the car has to remove an article of clothing. She told me that they decided to play a strip game without my consent. She was playing a strip game with two men that I didn't know and her friend. From how she explained it, the two men had gotten naked. Her friend, almost naked, her having only taken her shoes off. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
This is what she told me. Now, call me an asshole, but who the fuck does that? Who the fuck thinks it's okay to go play a strip game when you're in a relationship and your partner isn't present? Who thinks that's okay?
Okay, so it's not. I do apologize for the millionth time for interrupting you. I heard what you had said. Basically, I know what happened. I now had to think of it. And I was gonna say long story short, something something something, but I don't want to ruin your story. I get that though. It's just what you had said recently that made me realize what kind of made my relationship go downhill. It was more, I guess, in the context you said without your consent. Yes, granted, it's a strip game. Your significant other being within a strip game with two fucking males who get naked, like, or who are already naked. That's gonna set you on edge. Again, with the context behind your without your consent made me realize that sounded a little controlling. That is one of those things with my long-term relationship with Peyton that made it go so far fucking downhill. I could not see the signs. And again, my relationship with Jasmine's toxic. We already know that. Something I don't know why I did it. I carried it over from my relationship with Peyton to Jasmine's. It's controlling your partner, your significant other. I was such a piece of shit. I felt I controlled Peyton to a point she practically had no freedom. That's something you should never do to your significant other or partner. They should have the freedom to do what they want, even in a long-term relationship. Which had to do with what I heard in the bathroom. It's trust. Trust. You should always trust your significant other. Because I was a teenager and I was scared to death of losing Peyton when we were in a relationship, that's why I controlled her. Is because I had no trust. Because we had talked about this earlier during a car ride. And it was the fact that, you know, she's so far away. How can I really trust anything? When we got together, it wasn't even a big time frame to even allow me to, gain this large amount of trust. Because all we had ever really done was spend time together. And I had never really seen her around other people. Desmond, knock yo shit off. Love you. Anyway. And basically that's the point I'm trying to make, just based on the context of what you said. It's just like, yeah, you should never control your significant other or partner in any way, shape, or form. Because to this day, and I still regret it, we were teenagers. Peyton at one point wanted to go to homecoming. And I was such a piece of shit, I told her that I didn't want to do that because I didn't trust people around her, given your situation, because sometimes trust. Anyway, I told her, I didn't feel comfortable with it, yada, yada, yada. I found out like maybe a month or two later that she did go. Being the piece of shit I was, kind of am, I got very upset with her about going behind my back. And it was what really should have happened though was I should have been more accepting of the fact that she wanted to go, because at one point I went to one behind her back. And that's what pretty much destroys trust.
Yes. But the thing was, though, is that I think that my justification in this is valid.
Well, yes, given the whole thing behind a strip game, yes, your justification is valid. I just wanted to say it was the context behind that I had to deliver that message.
Yes. Why would someone think that it's okay to play a strip game with other people getting naked? Now, she said she never got naked, but honestly, in my personal opinion, I never really believed that because I knew who she was at that point. But I wasn't okay with her going behind my back, doing something in a sexual manner because any strip game is it's sexual, especially when it becomes people getting naked around each other. Now, yes, some people will say, "Oh, what about nudists?" There's a lot of cases where nudists will have sex on a beach, like on the nudist beach. They'll just go out and Now
It's
there
a
are
nudist. Fuck you. Heck.
yeah, exactly. People get naked. That in our society leads to sex. Okay, that's where my brain went. I was like, well, fuck me, I guess. Who cares about my feelings?
I will tell you now. I do apologize for literally that 13 frames of silence. I care. I cared about your feelings, but because she was so demanding of your attention, told you talk that much, spent that much time together. I care.
Appreciate it.
But
The time's passed, so we
well,
can't really
no,
say anything about it now.
I know that. But in all fairness, though, while you were dealing with this, I was dealing with my own. Which on my channel, if you watch the video, no, you'll see it if you watch the certain video. I'm only putting that out there, so
Yeah. But at that point, at that point, I had already fallen into deep love with this woman. Right? So, under my best judgment, I didn't end it there. I should have, under after the relationship ended and looking back on everything that I experienced with her, I should have ended it a lot sooner than her ending it. I should have just been an adult in that situation and said, fuck you, and moved on with my life. But I couldn't because I was trapped in that entanglement called love. But we continued after that, and after that point, my trust in her dropped to zero. I had zero trust in her. And I told her this. I told her that you are going to have to earn my trust back after that bullshit. But I don't want to end it off with you because I love you. Kind of shit, right? My mental stability after that point tanked. I was becoming, in my own personal respect, slightly suicidal after that because I could not trust her, and I hated that I was putting myself through that, even though in my own emotional state, I couldn't get myself out of it. The I ended up giving up on the relationship. I started becoming more of an asshole. Now, that ended up leading to us breaking up because I was becoming more upset. I started becoming a little bit more, in my respect, controlling on how I wanted her to spend time with people. I started asking her if she'll let me know who she's hanging out with so I knew who she was with, so that I could judge myself on whether or not I actually trusted the situation.
I get that.
And should I have been like that? No. I shouldn't have. But I did because of that loss of trust. And
Loss. Not You're not grammarly correct most of the time, and sometimes it bugs me. I apologize that I correct you so, but that was gonna bug me if I didn't fix it. But yes, I get it.
grammatically correct.
Whatever. I'm under the influence.
Fuck you, dude.
You
Anyway.
love me.
Anyway, it gets to the point where I move to Texas for those few months for basic and tech school. And before I leave, I ask her for a picture, right? I ask her for a picture of her so that I could always be able to see her, even though I couldn't actually see her. Stop doing that.
I'm sorry, but
If you touch me,
you keep tapping the
no,
desk.
if you touch me one more, sorry, but anyway, I thought that was gonna be like a form of like, a form of love to ask her for a picture of her so that I could have that with me while I'm there to basically show that I'm never going to leave you, even though we're gonna be separated for this long, right? What I didn't realize at the time of how of and with lack of a better term, how much of an attention whore she was. She has to be around someone or she starts to lose her mind. She starts to get depressed. She starts to do all this other stuff, right? Messing with my door. Anyway, while I was gone, she gets a new job at Walmart and she gets close with this one friend who was homosexual, right? I have no problem with him. He was a really cool dude. I actually got to talk to him, I think, one time. I was like, "You're a pretty cool dude. Please take care of her," you know, that kind of shit. Anyway, she got close to this guy, and then she started getting close to this other dude who I did not like because he was the boyfriend of her friend. They broke up because he did some crazy shit. Right? He did some like real crazy shit. And then she started becoming friends with him behind her friend's back or whatever. They were splitting up. Everyone was basically splitting up at this point. But I was still trying to keep my relationship with her, my girlfriend at the time, actually my fiance at the time, because we actually got engaged before I left. My own stupidity on that part. But
It hurts more when you get.
it does. It hurts a lot more.
I'll say I do apologize for tapping the table, wiping. You've done your best to correct me on that, especially since episode 1. I feel the need to correct you. Yes, grabbing you is not necessary. I can hear it. I think I can feel it.
Take care of your cats because they're gonna knock that down. And yeah, just ran in my room.
Finish your story.
Anyway,
At least this way I won't touch you.
while I was in tech school, she got close to this dude, her ex best friend's ex boyfriend. I wasn't okay with it, and I voiced my concerns for it naturally, because again, no trust at this point. And at that point, I had zero trust. I was not even trying for the relationship anymore because I just, at the time, I didn't realize it, but after careful thought of it, I had lost my feelings for her, even though I had that love, if that makes sense. So she starts to get into more of like a emotional relationship with this guy while I'm in Texas trying to deal with all the bullshit of military basic training and uh, military quote quote college. So I'm going through all this while she's ending up moving in with her gay friend and her quote quote not new boyfriend that she's cheating on me with. But anyway, they get in together this place, and at this point, I'm like, okay, whatever. Y'all enjoy yourselves. I just gave up. I was like, okay, you move in with them. I don't care. Enjoy yourself. You cheating bitch. But she ends up leaving me for this guy, and I reached the deepest part of depression that I ever reached in my life because I had never experienced that kind of loss before. And it doesn't help that me being the person who's doing going through military version of the police academy, I was around weapons quite often. So when I was in Texas, it made it very good for me that my roommate was very religious and he was able to help me through my issues after that situation. But in turn, I believe I came out a better person. I think that I'm not gonna let the slightest bit of love keep me from doing what's best for me. I think everyone else out there should do, because sometimes love can entangle you to the point where even if that person isn't doing any right by you in your eyes, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't get out of that situation and make it best for you. And that's all I have to say on that. Now, I did definitely try to avoid a lot of details on that situation in the entirety of that year and like week. But all I can say on that is, do I still love her? Yes. Will I ever let myself go through that again? Because I would go through it if I tried her. I'll never go through that again. And I don't think anyone should ever experience things like that in their lives. And if you have experienced those kinds of experiences, I hope you the best in getting your life straightened out, making yourself happy again. And I hope that those people out there that like to manipulate and, in other words, control someone else, I hope those kind of people rot in hell. With that, I'm going to step off my soapbox. Are you going to come join me, Elijah?
Sorry, I'm trying to hurt cats because you're being a bit of a bitch.
How am I being a bitch?
Well, yeah, I let you finish your story, which was fair. Should have let you finish your story. I interrupted you. Is the fact that you got a little upset with touching you. Swipe. I only did that. Anyway, yeah, I was hurting cats. I'm terrorizing them by treating the water or spray bottle as a fucking pistol. Anyway, I apologize. You had to go something a little similar to my experience. Then again, to that extent, I thought you were gonna segue into one thing we want to do for that we brought up in backstep.
Yes.
Had I not interrupted you, this wouldn't be a 43-minute about you.
Yeah. Coming from the one that always has to be talking. Now, I'm trying to be loud because I'm watching this spiking on OBS, and there are moments when I don't even see it spike while I'm talking, so I'm really scared that it's picking me up or not.
So am I. Like, I'm noticing that too. I'm a little terrified. Maybe you need to move a little closer.
Maybe. Or maybe I just need to actually talk in my normal adult voice. I gotta use my cop voice and, actually talk.
Yeah.
Except when I start getting into emotional things, my voice starts to lower because who really likes to talk about emotional stuff?
There's something I was gonna say while I was terrorizing the cats, but I don't remember. Oh, actually, no. Yes. This is probably gonna be another episode I'm not proud of because my dumbass wants to be under the influence. I apologize. Apologize to everybody, including you, because that was not fair to you for me to interrupt you during your story. That was a very heartfelt story that you wanted to open up about, especially on podcast. Proud of you for that step in development for you, because I think the only person you really opened up to about that was maybe me, and I just fucking ruined that for you. and I apologize. I didn't have patience. Now, again, that's me being a piece of shit because, again, under the influence, I love hearing myself. But that was your story, and
Love you too, man.
um,
But no, since these last two episodes have been kind of like emotional romance between two of us of like what we've experienced.
I
Um,
think it's just because we've both still been having problems with it.
well, it's like okay, so currently, I was talking to this one girl, right? I remember mentioning in a podcast where I was gonna get her. I think I remember mentioning this where I was gonna try and get her to get attached to me before she moved away. But the problem was, my dumbass got attached too, and it's kind of sucky, especially now with our plans to move. If things end up working out, doing.
You,
I don't.
duh.
You need to fucking snowball shit off me, man, because I can't keep going on. I can't. After my story's over, I don't know what else to talk about, man. Sorry.
How about we drop the bombshell that is the spoiler to the series that we're aside from Resident Evil, which is not even really being recorded. It's all recorded. I'm gonna beat the shit out of my. I don't mean that. Desmond loves playing so much. Zio is hell bent on sitting in this chair with me like he did when he was younger. Anyway, we finally went through with it. I didn't want to bring it up because I got tired of having to put Pokemon in nerd tabloid titles. But Kenny and I finally committed to it, and we're doing a Soul Link.
Oh yeah.
But because Canyon's a bitch and doesn't want to do every generation, I'm just giving you shit. We're doing Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, which I actually was on board with because I didn't feel like playing the games through twice, only to have one of them have better designs, better sprites, and a sprint feature. We decided, let's do remakes first, and we'll move into the other things, which I think we brought up in episode 9 soon after I put Echo down for help talk you into it. Gen 1, we need to do Fire Red and Leaf. I want to go through it. Gen 2, we need to go through the DS versions of Gold and Silver, which are the remakes are Gold, Silver. Instead of going through Ruby and Sapphire, we'll go through Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Hopefully, by that time, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl will be out for the Nintendo Switch, and we'll have them and finally record them with capture cards and everything and be able to do that series in a Soul Link. And a remake. And then Black and White 2, X and Y, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, not Sun and Moon. And hopefully, if we can get our shit together and do it before a core Gen 9 game comes out, will be put together. And again, I wanted to keep it a surprise just so we wouldn't have to talk about it, but it was I'm stoked for it. This was actually the first time I actually got to fuck around with something similar to Photoshop, make a background, everything.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of work that's going into this one series just to play Pokemon. Like a lot of work has gone into it, and we've only done what? We've only recorded.
Technically 4 episodes, but that's because of episode 0. I will spoil now it's not a randomizer, so don't get excited for episode 0. I mean, there's a little humor in it.
Episode 0 was an absolute fucking shit show, man. Because of Discord being an absolute cunt.
That too.
No, we have to be completely honest with that. Discord, with our Wi-Fi, trying to talk to each other, we were cutting out so bad. And there would be moments when you couldn't understand me. You were recording it, so everyone could probably hear what you're saying, but they would
No, yeah,
lose out.
everybody can hear exactly what I'm saying. You just cut out and so many. it we had no idea what the fuck was going on. Like honestly, there was a part when in episode 0 when we were trying to get our first encounter. It was so fucking delayed that soon after I brought up encounters, you already killed the first encounter.
because I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, oh, cool, whatever. Didn't even notice that I was in Route 1. I didn't even see it pop up. It definitely popped up. I'm 100% positive on that. But I didn't see it pop up. I just thought I was still in the same area that I was before. And I end up killing it for XP. And then he's like, just kill our first encounter. Oh, fuck.
There have been some problems. I really don't want to spoil it, but I think it's funny some of the things that happened, but that can happen in a later. Um, that's going on. The only reason I think it's also hard for us and it's a lot of work is the motivation behind it because and I wanted to bring this up earlier discussion, not in I've been so depressed lately that I hate playing my games because obviously I keep game jumping because it isn't until I use my imagination to add stakes to a game that it makes it a little more entertaining. Like because video games damage my brain. I have this like childish mentality where I still like so when it comes to grid, what I have to do in order to get myself to be motivated is some fucking lunatic, like Joker lunatic, crashes my wedding, pretty much knows every woman that I'm connected to, takes them hostage, forces me to basically play grid while I listen to my entire Eurobeat playlist. And the stake there is I only get one restart in a certain race per song. So like let's say I'm doing a hot qualifying lap and I listen to one song. In order to save myself time, I can restart it and then continue to the race if the hot qualifying lap puts me in. If it doesn't, I can listen to it again to try and get a better placement. If I don't, I have to skip to the next song. And it's basically that on fucking repeat when I play grid. And I think it's just my mentality. I like adding stakes though. And that's basically what's happened in this. I told Peyton about it. I revealed to someone. I revealed that basically for this Pokemon series, because again I'm borrowing the idea from someone, where in this Soul Link, similar to the other person's sleep lock, for every Pokemon we lose, we have to take a shot. And I think that is great at adding the stakes because Canyon doesn't like drinking. I don't give a shit. It also just kind of sucks once that kind of little buzz from that shot wears off. It's like, fuck, I don't want to do that again. That kind of, because you get that whole burning in your mouth, your chest, because we don't drink beer, we drink liquor. Because I'm more of a liquor person, I fucking can't stand beer. It's like shit.
Beer is disgusting. Fuck beer.
So you can't in the same boat. So that's kind of what adds to the stakes of the series, and it's basically that we lose them on, we're gonna get fucked up. We're gonna probably either get hammered if we have enough Pokemon or whichever. But it makes it so much worse with that stake at it. Makes that seriously. I'm like, oh, I'm doing great. I'm not losing any Pokemon. You do something dumb and lose. I'm gonna fucking strangle you.
Or when you do something dumb and I lose them. Or
But let's be honest, have I done that yet? The only thing I kept you from doing was getting an encounter.
that's
Did
still
you
losing a Pokemon.
technically no, because did you have to take a shot?
Fucking
Okay, that's
I
fair.
I emotionally took a shot when you kept us from that fucking encounter.
But it's just that steak that makes it more.
Yes, is that steak? If only I could knife hand you while I'm sitting in my room trying to play Pokemon while you're out here. Only I could fucking get my fingers centimeters from your eye and tell you off.
You're touching my eyelash.
That tells you how close I got to you.
But yeah. So that's the Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green Nuzlocke. I definitely know that since this goes up next, we ne- next week from obviously um we might have all the editing done to be able to upload everything, but everybody's just gonna have to wait and see. And if you can guess the timing correctly, we're gonna do our first giveaway. I may not be in financially stable. We're gonna do our first giveaway. If you can time correctly which episode coincides with this podcast, we'll give away a brand new copy of Halo Infinite. Brand new. I'll mail it to you. Actually, no, I won't mail it to you. I'll buy it and then give you the code digitally, but still. You'll get a brand new Halo Infinite. You'll get that. If you can guess which episode of the Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green Soul Link coincides with episode. I think that's fair because no one's gonna fucking get it.
No one.
No one's gonna get it. Because basically, my spoiler was I'm going into this still a little tipsy. Like, I can feel that definitely wearing down, but I still feel the alcohol. But
All right. Give them a whole clue.
a whole clue,
Give them a whole hint that they can base it off of.
Bill. No one's gonna get it. No one's gonna get it because I think I brought it up in one episode, and then something's gonna happen. But they'll never guess because, for all they know, we could be recording episode 7 right now. Whichever, you could be seeing a different point. No one's gonna know. They don't know how far. We know how far. Bill, try and guess that. If you can guess it correctly, put it in the comments. I swear to shit, I will buy you Halo Infinite. I'll buy you the campaign. There's no point in buying you the fucking multi. It's gonna be free to play, which we need to fucking shout out right now. When we figure it out, we're gonna fucking live stream. You and I are gonna fucking play that multiplayer the day for clan purpose. Gonna fuck. I I am so excited for the multiplayer, and I couldn't tell you why. I think it's basically like new mechanics behind like your personalized AI and game mechanics, and the fact that it's supposed to work. It's supposed to like work off of Halo Master Chief Collection's Battle Pass, except you can purchase it at any time, and no matter which one you purchase, you can progress there. Doing something differently than Battle Royale. I think that's what I'm most excited for. The fact that, excuse me, Halo Infinite trying to do it.
Oh yeah.
And it's not only that, like, you don't even need a battle pass. Everything can be obtained. Should be. Meaning, you can obtain it all for free. You know what makes that so great? Multiplayers. I can obtain everything else for free? Fuck it. Shut up and take mine. Well, I guess not take mine.
Yeah. Fuck you, Call of Duty.
Yeah. Seriously, though? Battlefield blow Warzone right out of the fucking wall.
Oh yeah. Again. Fuck
I
you,
still
Call
need
of
to
Duty.
show you that trailer.
Oh yeah.
I will do it. Before we record the next episode of Soul Link. which we're hitting that 1 hour mark. 1 second. Almost one. Do an episode. Hopefully, we don't have to take it. Anyway, that's been a long, heartfelt moment. Canyons episode. Canyons episode. Golf clap. I'm Eli or Assassin 13.
I'm Canyon. I'm better known as Ghost Ripper. I just took a hit and you just fucking. Oh.
And we are
The Rogue Assassin Rippers.
We'll leave you there because we really need to get it. See you all in the next video.